everyone, welcome back to AFTV and the Predicted 11 show. Robbie and I have a 100% record when it comes to predicting starting 11s, so we've got to go again and get this right.
This is going to be tough.
This is tougher.
This is going to be tough. This one.
It's tougher because we kind of hinted it in the preview. If you've not checked it out, check out the AFTV preview on the game that we did and box to box as well for real insight into Bodø Glimt. But I have a feeling he's not going to rotate as much as he did for Zurich.
Yeah, you know what? And funny enough, right, just before we started recording this, I just did an interview on Norwegian TV, or Norwegian radio, it was. Norwegian radio, apologies, right? And right at the end of the video, the guy said something that made me think it might be even stronger than I thought it's going to be. He said to me that next week's game in Bodø, they play on an artificial pitch. I did not know that. That means that Mikel Arteta will definitely want to get this game won before going over to Bodø next week. He won't want to be going over to Bodø and having to play Jesus and people like that on an artificial pitch. No chance. So this game is a game that Arsenal really, really want to win to get to the top of the group. 6 points, bit of distance between them and Bodø, who are on 4 points. So, yeah, I think you could see a stronger team than sort of many might anticipate. That's just my feeling as well.
Yeah, and we mentioned in the preview as well, with it being 3 home games in a row, Tottenham, Bodø, Glimt, Liverpool, the fact that there's been quite a big gap between that 12:30 kickoff against Tottenham and this one on a Thursday night, I think he might see this as an opportunity to play a few more first teamers. But let's go into it, starting with the goalkeepers. You dropped your exclusive on the preview.
I'm not trying to name drop, but I did see Matt Turner at the NFL game on Sunday, and we were having a nice chat, and I did say to him, will you be playing on Thursday night in the Europa League game? Now, he didn't say definitely, but I don't know, there was just something about his face, the smile and everything. He's starting, Matt Turner.
Let's get him in the 11 then.
So I think Matt Turner will definitely start in goal.
Make them a little bit bigger.
And so he should as well, you know what I mean? We want to get him as much game time as possible, you know what I mean? Because you never know what could happen, and he may have to come in, you know what I mean? So
I completely agree. I think he should start. Why'd you buy a second goalkeeper?
Yep.
And he's a US international as well. So he starts. Okay, right back. Ben White doing very, very well. Cedric potentially back, but does he stick with Tomiyasu?
I think Tomiyasu starts this game. I mean, the thing I'm thinking is, could he possibly play Tomiyasu as a centre back and maybe play Cedric? But I think the fact that Cedric's only just coming back, I don't know if he'd want to risk him right from the start. So I'm going to go for Tomiyasu coming in at right back. And what a replacement.
Yeah.
Last year, if Tomiyasu weren't playing at right back, we were all biting our nails. You know what I mean? So it's fantastic. We want as well him to have more game time, because remember, he sort of had a lot of injury problems last year. We want to get him on a run as well. So Tomiyasu for me, right back.
Very slightly off topic. If, say, you look at the Premier League, if something were to happen at centre back, would you put Tomiyasu in at centre back and keep White at right back? Because he's been doing so well there, Ben White.
You can do that, because Tomiyasu has played as a centre back
when
he was over in Italy, and you can see how combative he is and that. I think he'd do a great job as a centre back. But let's get him back in at right back, playing games, and this is an ideal opportunity for him.
Yep, agreed. Okay, the centre back partnerships. What do we think?
Centre back partnerships again. Rob Holding was at the NFL game.
Is there anyone he didn't meet?
Another exclusive, right? And again, when I said, Rob, are you going to be playing in the game? He said, I reckon. And he was about to say, I reckon I am. And then he just sort of, with his professionalism, pulled it back and said, hopefully I'll be playing. But I think Rob Holding should play. I think he will play. I mean, listen, again, he's not going to let us down, is he? Rob Holding, if he plays in this game. Quality centre back, and again, a guy we need to have these guys getting game time, because you never know when they might have to come in. And it could be even a thing that Arteta might look on a Premier League game and says, you know what, Saliba needs a bit of a rest. Let's drop Rob Holding in. So I think Rob Holding definitely starts in this game.
Who's partnering him?
That's the question now. Who partners him? I think he'll go with Gabriel. I think he will. I think Gabriel still has had a few little shaky moments in recent games, even though I thought he played well at the weekend, even though he gave away the penalty.
He did play
but
well,
just get him playing, get him playing more games. And I think Gabriel's a real, strong player at the back there. So I'd definitely start Gabriel.
What about left back? Kieran Tierney makes
Kieran
sense?
Tierney for me, straight in. He didn't play at the weekend. Zinchenko played. I think Zinchenko is probably going to play against Liverpool as well. So Kieran Tierney starts. Again, no worries, is it? It could be either or with those two. They're both fantastic players, but get Tierney playing in this game.
Okay,
definitely,
so
and I'm not sure if Tierney will be playing on an artificial pitch next week. So give Tierney this one.
Well, let's look at midfield now. It gets quite interesting because, you feel he's going to rest Partey, don't you?
He has to rest Partey.
So is that Lokonga in for him?
It's got to be Lokonga. No Thomas Partey in this game. A vital player against Tottenham. A vital player as well for the weekend's game against Liverpool. If you had to rest one player, it's got to be him because he's the most injury-prone one. Thomas Partey, put your feet up, stay at home, put your slippers on, let Sambi Lokonga be in that position.
Okay, now I think it gets really interesting.
It does.
Let's do the obvious one, which I think is Fabio Vieira.
Fabio Viera
comes in. Okay, now on that left of the three, I've got a theory. I have a theory that this bet I've got going with you, where you're 8-0 up, is about to become 8-1.
Granit Xhaka starts there for me.
No, really?
Yeah. Granit Xhaka is a machine. He's a machine. He's a leader, right? He played in the away game, didn't he, against Zurich? I know he was sort of going back to Switzerland. He's on fire at the moment. He's not a guy that picks up injuries. He starts for me. He we can take him off later on. But for me, you want Granit Xhaka in there from the start, and that's who I got. Were you going to suggest Zinchenko? No. I don't think he's not going to put two left backs at risk in that game. I don't think so. When we've got Liverpool at the weekends.
I hear what you're saying. Here's my count as to why he might. Xhaka is going to need to play pretty much every game and every minute of it anyway. You've got a home game here in the Europa League. Zinchenko I know he's had a couple injuries, but they've not been so serious. He's not been playing international duty. He didn't play in the Brentford game. He's had a lot of time off. And if there's ever opportunity to actually see what Zinchenko could be like in midfield, now's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to.
You're just desperate for him to go into the midfield
Arteta,
because of our bet.
Give me something.
You're desperate. It will be Xhaka, in my opinion. I don't think he'll play both Tierney and Zinchenko. I can't see. It'd be exciting if he did. To be all fairness to you, it'd be exciting to see Zinchenko in there.
Yeah.
Right? Because we'd all love to see him in that midfield role. And it's a sort of thing that you say to yourself, well, if anything happened to Xhaka, we know he can slot in there. But I'd just put those two at risk before Liverpool. No.
Look, the main thing that makes me doubt it is when we were talking about not making too many changes. I actually think when you got Lokonga playing as the 6, he's still very young in that role. Though I think he did really well, by the way, when he came against Tottenham. I think he'll want Granit Xhaka, who's a bit more experienced, next to him. I think if you're completely changing the midfield, then maybe you're putting.
Well, I might have a surprise for you as another, right? So, but Xhaka, I think, goes in there.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Front three,
right hand side, Marquinhos. I want to see more of this guy. He was brilliant against Zurich. He'll be chomping at the bit to play at the Emirates. He hasn't played at the Emirates yet. If you're going to say to me, what player do you really, really want to see on Thursday night? For me personally, he's the one I really want to see. I'm most excited to see Marquinhos on that right-hand side. He was brilliant against Zurich. And I think he'd be brilliant here at the Emirates. So,
Okay.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
But it's the left-hand side. I think we'll agree that Eddie Nketiah is going to be down the middle. And again, this is a huge opportunity for Eddie Nketiah. I think Eddie Nketiah has been brilliant every time he's come on. But the only thing is, every time you just come in in Premier League games, you don't really get an opportunity to score many goals.
Yeah.
He scored in the game against Zurich. We want to get this guy scoring, So this is a great opportunity for him, and Eddie will grasp it. So Eddie to start down the middle. Mm-hmm. I think you agree with that, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's that left-hand side. Could we possibly I don't think it would happen, Well, what about Zinchenko there?
On the left wing.
On the left wing.
You just said you didn't want to risk two.
No, I don't. Listen, I don't think he's going to risk two left backs. I'm just saying that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
I've never seen him on the left wing, but I mean,
he could play it though. Surely, couldn't he?
Is he quick? I know he's quick, but is he like?
Not lightning?
Is he like winger quick? If that makes sense.
He might be that smart winger though.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. But
I mean, he's blissy.
But who's going to play on that left? Because surely you can't play Martinelli.
Well, okay.
I mean,
here are the
amount of energy he expends, man. I want him again wrapped up in cotton wool for Liverpool.
I think there's three options for this game. Either it's Martinelli, like he played in the Zurich game, and he's going to have a big task on
Liverpool
on Sunday
against Liverpool.
Team. Yeah, it could be Reece Nelson, but then I feel like he's making too many changes. It could be Gabby Jesus.
Oh, no, I don't want them man starting.
Saka?
No.
Well, 10 men then.
Reece Nelson. Start Reece Nelson there. I know he hasn't hardly played, but start Reece Nelson there. And if it's not working out, then you can bring on Martinelli, or you can bring on... I don't know, man. I just don't want Martinelli playing. This is a tough game on Sunday. We know Liverpool, how much they run, how much they press. We know about Liverpool's attacking. So Martinelli will have to be getting back and helping out a lot in the game. We need these guys expending as little energy as possible before that Liverpool game. That's my opinion. So I don't really want to see Martinelli start.
So here's the 11 then. Turner, Tomiyasu, Holding, Gabriel, Tierney at the back, Viera, Lokonga, Xhaka, with Marquinhos, Nketiah and Reece Nelson. That'll be 9 changes from the North London derby. Yeah. I just have a feeling we might see like one of Saka or Martinelli play, and actually maybe Ben White at centre back over Holding. I know.
I think Holding would definitely start.
Okay.
Holding would definitely start. Yeah, I think Holding's definitely going to start.
I mean, for what it's worth, Eddie Nketiah, Xhaka, Tierney, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, that's 5 players I mentioned, were all starters last season, especially towards the end. They all would have started in Arsenal's first choice team. Holding's been there for a long, long time and has played this low plenty of times. And Vieira's a £35 million signing. I mean, there should be enough in there, really.
You could play Viera on a wing and maybe put Marquinhos on another wing and put Zinchenko in the midfield, which is kind of yours. But I don't know. It's a lot of tinkering. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me to see Martinelli start. It wouldn't. I hope not, but it wouldn't, because just for the fact that Reece Nelson just has not had enough game time. So he's going to be so cold coming into this. So
deep down, I think there's minutes there for Martinelli or Saka on the left.
I think Martinelli's going to start.
Yeah. All right.
I get the feeling he's going to start.
Let's make that change then.
Yeah.
And bring in...
Yeah, Martinelli.
I know what you mean, though. I don't want to see it.
I don't really want to see it, but I think he will.
All right. That's the team. This is a tricky one. I still think he's going to go...
That's a strong team still.
It is. I still think he's going to go tad stronger. I don't really know what that looks like, but I think he'll go tad stronger. But yeah, we'll find out. And could Zinchenko get minutes in midfield finally?
I'll tell you what, it's going to be an interesting starting 11 come Thursday night. You've got to make sure you watch our starting 11 show. We go live half an hour before the announcement is made. So make sure, because I think this is going to be so intriguing. I'm going to be hosting that, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, it's intriguing, man.
Yeah.
What is Arteta going to do? Because Liverpool at the weekend, don't want no injuries before that, So, but then Europa League's important as well. Want to win this, because as I said, don't want to go next week artificial pitch, having to then risk players like, your Martinellis and people like that. So
before Leeds away.
Before Leeds away. So
much more travelling next week.
Yeah, very interesting to see what happens.
All right, we'll find out, guys. As Robbie mentioned, that starting 11 show, go check that out when it comes. What will that be? That'll be about 6:30 UK time. But I know all you amazing fans tune in from around the world, so do make sure to get involved then and let us know in the comment section what your starting 11 would be, but also what you think it's going to be. Because I just can't shake this feeling he's going to go a bit stronger than that. Maybe Jesus on the right, or someone in at centre back, or maybe a little bit more quality in midfield. Something, I don't know. I think Arteta's going to want to get this sealed.
I think it's the Xhaka one. I think he'll play. That is putting a lot of strength into the team by having him in there. It's just that front three. And Marquinhos and Nketiah, who's that other guy on the left? That's the interesting one for me.
As we mentioned before, guys, go check out our preview and box-to-box all out. And Bodø Glimt Thursday night. Come on, Arsenal, get those other 3 points. Keep building towards nice early qualification if we can. Focus on the league, and we go from there. Come on, Arsenal.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.